I know him 25 years.
Oh, wow,
He's very
really?
close friend of mine. Yeah.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, I met him within 3 months when I moved to America.
Really?
Yeah, he already called me because he used to watch my fights in Japan with Joe Rogan. They would, the two of them watched the pay-per-views.
Paying crazy stuff.
Yeah. So, and then that was the first year of King of Queens. He lived in a one-bedroom apartment with his brother. That's how I met him. Yeah, quite different now.
Yeah.
But same guy. Never changed a bit. Really good guy.
Well, here we are, Karate Combat 37 in Orlando. You've been with Karate Combat since its first event ever, which I believe is in Miami.
Miami, yes.
So from then until now, what would you say are the biggest changes that the company has implemented to get to where they are now?
I think the rules, in the beginning there was no uppercuts, then they added uppercuts, and they started slowly but surely adapting to the rules, but also the fighters. Because the fighters came from Point Karate, right? So you saw guys in a fight, and then they would connect, and they would stop. They go, yeah, they stopped. The other guy kept going, and they go, oh, yes, it's full contact. You got to keep on going. So, but then right away, of course, they start taking kickboxing classes and boxing classes, and then the next time you saw them back, and then you see the evolution to see all these guys who went from Point Karate to full contact, to see that change, and what an amazing athletes they are. Well, let's face it, we got Olympic level athletes here, who fight full contact. So, yeah, that's really refreshing to see. And also you see the evolution of using the ring. The pit, the way they're walking up the pit now, which already somebody takes somebody down, ran up first so he got more height, and then dropping him. Things like that, flying off already with a knee. We saw that. We yet have to see the first knockout, the Pettis, right? Showtime Pettis. But then we're going to make it whatever we're going to call that person who's going to do it here in the Karate Combat Pit.
So you're talking about the rules developing. Do you think we'll see maybe elbows get added at all? Or?
I don't think so. Elbows, I would also stay away from. The reason why, and also in MMA I had that with elbows, and I fought with elbows still in MMA. But it's most of the time it's cuts. Like from the 100 fights that get stopped, maybe 2 by knockout with an elbow, and the rest will be cuts by. You see, and and then eventually people started knocking out more people. I always said I prefer rather on the ground adding knees to the face, like they did in Pride, because those will knock you out. But an elbow, if you lose by a cut, well, you're not really losing, right? If it's on the street, you're not going to stop, right? You're bleeding. It's a flesh wound, right? And you just keep on going. So, and elbows also, that makes the fight closer by, and we want to stay away from the clinch. We want to show the people at home the beautiful techniques, and that's why also, they don't do the normal low kicks. They do the calf kicks, because most of the time you kick those with the instep, so the fight is further away, and you better can enjoy the techniques that those guys have.
And the calf kick has really come up lately. I mean, it used to be everyone's just kicking the leg, kicking the leg, the thigh, and now we're seeing more and more people go to the calf. When you started your training, your martial arts journey, was a calf kick something that was around, or is that something kind of a new development that we see used?
Yeah, people started doing it later. I would do it if I see somebody checking my low kicks. I'll kick a little lower because then I'm going to kick the calf. Because what people don't realize is, for instance, when you lift your leg, your lower leg is relaxed. So the muscles are relaxed. If you hit it from the side, next to the tibia, the fibia, the smaller one, that breaks very easy. And if you sidestep and kick a calf that is relaxed, you break the bone. That's what happens. That's the same when somebody gets hit with a gut shot. If you are breathing in, you can do 5,000 sit-ups a day, but if you breathe in and get hit, that's when you go down. Same with low kicks. If you push somebody and his leg is weightless, the muscles, and then you kick with your shin, yeah, that's 1 or 2 kicks, the fight's going to be over. You see, so with calf kicks, they're super effective, and especially when they start checking kicks, because then they lift, and like I said, then the muscle is relaxed. Nowadays, these guys, they train with it, they know when to flex them, so that gives them a little bit of an advantage, but still, it's a risky kick to throw as well. Because with your foot, if you hit the shin bone, and I'm talking about the tibia, the big one, you're going to break your foot. So you have to make sure that you're set. And my stance, for instance, I have an open stance, and my toes from my left foot point to the right. So you keep me with the right, you're going to kick right on my shin. There's no way that you're going to hit my calf. Now, inside low kicks you can, but I know that. And most of the time in the bladed position, you can't develop a lot of power like that. It's easy to counter, you see. So sometimes you have to adjust your stance. And I've already been talking to these fighters here. But you have a good guy who's predominantly kicking calf kicks the whole time. I would really change your stance to an open stance, because then once those shin bones stick out, trust me, they're not going to kick you. They're going to hurt each other, themselves.
You've been here throughout fight week. I remember on Wednesday you were training with Owen Charmian.
Yeah.
Do you think he's got the potential to become like the breakout star for Europe? You know, he's got the looks, he's got personality. The McGregor comparisons are inevitable. Do you think he's got that potential?
Yeah, he certainly has, you know, and also his fighting style. It's like an Edgar Scrivens also, you know. They constantly come to fight. And it doesn't matter winning or losing, and he's winning, you know, 4-0, so he's doing great with it, but it's his style. And everybody knows what he's going to do, but it's very hard to prepare for that. Because, you know, if you're a really great striker, but you get pushed backwards, that's the information I give my students if they fight a really good striker. Like if I fight an Anderson Silva or a freaking Raymond Daniels, you better believe I'm not going to give him space. I'll be loading up on stamina. That's the only thing I'm going to do, because I'm going to push that fight. I'm going to be in his face the whole time, because if I let him go, you're going to get kicked with kicks you've never seen before. You know, so you simply cannot have low kicks, close this, low kicks, constantly. You got to slaughter the legs first, because you have to stop his movement, otherwise it's a problem.
If you look at the rest of the card, well, it's like stacked with bangers, right? You've got Varga, you've got Eriksson and Tariq, that's got like some real spice to it.
Yeah.
Even Nunes, you know, that little face-off there was a lot of almost animosity.
Yeah.
It almost feels like we're seeing Karate Combat 2.0, because at the beginning, you know, it's based on a lot of respect and all that kind of stuff. Are you enjoying the fact we're getting a bit of needle, that we're seeing, you know, this confrontation at the head-to-head face-offs?
Yeah, you know, but what do I always say, you know, I said this is the great thing about karate, they get in each other's face, but you see always the respect afterwards, they bow at each other. With Tarek and Eriksson, they were going on. At the end, they were hugging each other, shook each other's hands, and then you see, so they know, yes, they get angry and they will talk in the ring, but you know, they both know, well, it's his job, it's my job, we're gonna have to do this, you know, and it's always, for some fighter, it's good to not like the other person. For me, it's not. I try to avoid everything. Whatever they say about me, I don't read anything, because I'm a hothead, you know, and I do know that, but if I get angry, I'm gonna lose control. Yeah, if you lose control, like I always tell people, like if I'm fighting, I punch from here, right? Poof. If I'm angry, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna load up. Now I'm telegraphing. You see, so I try always say, "Hey, boss, did you hear what he said about you?" I said, "Don't freaking tell me. I don't want to hear it, especially not on fight day." You know, I had a coach one time on my last fight. It was so funny. He took me to the side after, but he never worked with me before. He was my strength and conditioning guy. And he says, "Boss, can I see you out to the dressing room?" I go, "Sure." So I'm walking with him. I go, "What's up?" He goes, "This guy tries to steal food away from your family." I go, "Stop it right there." I said, "I don't need this, dog. I'm good." He goes, "Are you sure?" I say, "Yeah, I don't want to get angry, dude. I'm going to lose control. I need to be perfect. Zen, you know." And trust me, I got a lot of anger in me, but I let it go when I want to let it go, you know. So, yeah, once emotions start clouding your mind, that's when you make mistakes. Look at politics right now, right? They don't even listen to you what you say anymore, because they hate one person so much that they don't even hear. They can do everything good in the world now, they don't want to hear it. And that's the same in fighting. You know, you do something like that, you're going to lose control, and when you lose control, you lose.
Bas, we were talking, you mentioned it before, Raymond Daniels comes from a sport karate background, so does Robbie Lavoie, and a few other fighters in karate combat. If there were fighters out there in the sports karate world today, let's say they're doing great, but what would you say they need to add if they want to compete in an organization like Karate Combat to be competitive here?
For those guys, they need to go immediately. This is what I would do: sign up for Thai boxing classes or kickboxing classes. You know, stay away from knees actually are legal now. So, and that's actually kickboxing, because kickboxing is also, you can't clinch, but you can throw knees. Me personally, I always train my fighters without holding, because nobody's doing it. I always say, when you're different than everybody else, that's when you're going to be effective. You know, if I give you 3 hooks and I throw a roundhouse knee to the body, nobody expects that, because they never did it to them in training. And if they've never seen it before, chances you're going to be successful with it are very high.
Now, I want to ask you something I always asked during an interview. If your life didn't intersect with the martial arts, let's say you never got involved in the martial arts, what would you be doing today?
You know, I'm a professional. I'm a chef. I went 4 years to culinary school, so the French cuisine. Yeah, so I probably would be that. Or I always thought about video editing, like making trailers. I always enjoyed doing that, just myself. Like sometimes I make videos and people go like, "Who put it together for you?" I go, "I did that." They go, "You did that?" Yeah, it's because I just enjoy things like it takes a lot of time, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, to promote a movie, for instance, and you have to explain it in 45 seconds, you know, and to do a good job with that's a cool business to have, because if you get really good at that, you know, it's a fun thing to do. Yeah. So that, and I always thought about DJing. I thought that, but I believe we'll go back to my roots, which is being a chef.
Do you still cook today? Do you
Yeah,
still?
yeah. I still cook, and you know, Christmas and all these times, I'll make a whole freaking 5 course.
No YouTube of this is Bas Christmas dinner today. This is where we go, boom, and we've got to add this in. That'd be a big hit, I think.
Yeah, maybe I should think about it. My wife bought me a freaking whole outfit. You know, she says you got to do that. I put all like a karate gi or like a jiu-jitsu gi. We put all these promotions on it on purpose, you know, and then you're cooking with a hat on. I think it would be funny. So hey, who knows? I still have it. So
I'm
I
waiting
might
for
start doing
that.
it.
I'll be waiting for it.
No, that sounds great. I remember back in the day, you had the Bas Rutten street defense.
Yeah.
Greatest videos. If anyone's never seen them, go check them out. They're
Yeah.
fantastic. So maybe you can reinvent the series, but maybe a cooking version, how to defend yourself in the kitchen while cooking.
Oh, jeez, with knives and with pans, that's it. I mean, you watch, what is it called? With that long hair, with Goldilocks. Well, no, it's not Goldilocks. It's the Disney movie, the girl with the long hair.
Oh, Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, yeah, but the movie that has a different name. It's not Rapunzel. It's
Tangled.
Tangled. You know, and then he starts hitting with the pants, right? He goes, "But that really work?" And I go like, "Wow, yeah, it really works." We got some weight on it. If you have like one of those steak fries, those really heavy ones, so that's a weapon right there. And of course, you get all the knives, you got the corkscrews, you got. I mean,
I would tune in.
we know what is it?
Wine openers. And
He's my favorite freaking actor, Denzel Washington.
Ah.
Right, and what is the Equalizer?
Equalizer.
When he hits the
Yes.
freaking corkscrew into his face, you know, you see it inside his mouth. Yeah, a lot of weapons there.
You're not violent at all. No.
No.
It's practical.
It's a tip. You know, I always say it's good to be a little bit of paranoid. You know, you
I
always
agree.
need to be ready. You never know. If you go into a place and you know, I will know where the exits are. You know, this is a thing that you just do. And in the beginning, you have to look for it, but. You do it 5 times, it's automatically you walk in and you already know it's there and it's there. You see, it's good. It's just those things are good to know. And playing games with your kids, you know, the waiter comes and you know if they have a name tag and you walk away, I say, "What's the name?" And then my kids go like, "Oh, they will know the name because they know I'm going to ask them." You see, so and once you start doing that, then you know your situational awareness is everything, right? I mean, if you look at the security in this country here, I think 85 to 87% is prevented before it even starts because the intelligence is so good. But you get it there too. If you decide in the morning to walk out and just walk to your car, you don't even look around. Yeah, you set yourself up for. That's the same with women. You know, your situational awareness. You park your car. Yeah, it's during the day. When you're gonna go back. You're gonna be back at night. Yeah. Is that a good spot when you come back? Is there light? Is there, you know, those things you have to simply start thinking about. Especially nowadays, it's a dangerous world. You know, if you park a car and you're in a parking garage, nobody's around, and then a woman sits there and there's a guy shotgun sitting in a car next to her. Is it smart to get out of the car? You know, maybe get out. It's okay because then he cannot open. But you know, there's things that you have to think about. Just making sure, because it's a crazy world right now. And people say, "Oh, it never happens." I say, "You have 1 million home invasions every year here in America. 1 million. Think about that.
It is a
you know,
very
what if you're
crazy
home?
world.
Yeah.
Speaking of crazy, you're an OG of martial arts in general. I mean, you've been there, you've done that. You are highly respected in the martial arts community. What is your opinion on this new wave of celebrity boxing that's going on? YouTubers, influencers, Jake Paul's out here who just boxed Anderson Silva. Do you think this is good for combat sports? Is it bad for combat sports?
No, it's like in the past, you know, when you had 2 guys and they fought each other, and they didn't really train and they were swinging for the fence. Jake Paul, I gotta say, I have a lot of respect for the guy. I mean, he trains like a boxer. You know, he gets up, he lives and breathes it, you know, and the message that he sent after the knockout from Tyron Woodley, when he knocked him out, he said, "Listen, in boxing, it just put me back to a place, you know, where I'm supposed to be." He says, "Now I realize I was always the bully, you know, and boxing really set me straight." And, you know, so once guys start talking like that, you know, what is not to love? And he's performing. Yes, Anderson Silva, and he's older. It's freaking Anderson Silva, you know, and he's a really freaking good fighter. So for Jake Paul to still get that victory, you know, I think he's doing a phenomenal job.
Do you think we'll ever see him box a champion boxer, maybe like a Canelo? Do you think that'll ever transpire?
Oof, yeah, now you go right away to the very top, like Canelo's. You never know with a guy like that. You know, if he builds his... Okay, guys, before they become a pro, they already had 80 amateur matches. Well, he didn't have that privilege, right? He went right away pro. That's a big thing already. And now he's facing, yeah, sure, he fights people, when he picks them out right now. But still, Anderson Silva, it's a real Tyron Woodley, it's like, okay, yeah, but he's not really a striker. Still, he's an athlete, he's been striking a lot, he's been doing that his whole career. So for him to come in and still pull that off,
it's not like an average Joe can go in there and knock out Tyron Woodley.
That's it. That's what I mean. And then you look at his brother, Logan Paul, and when I see him doing pro wrestling, these guys are freaking athletes. I mean, if people bag on them, I go, I don't understand it, because I think what they also do, they bring awareness to the pay and to, so it's never good. The other organizations start realizing, wait a minute, freaking Tyron Woodley got maybe $1 million, $2 million. Ben Askren got a lot of money, You see, and Ben Askren, that was a different thing. He's a wrestler. He's not a boxer. Because I thought that it was going to be an MMA match. I go, he's going to fold him up. But then somebody said boxing, and I go, he shouldn't be boxing. He's not a good boxer. He's a great fighter. Because boxing and fighting are two different things, right? Boxing is boxing. Fighting is everything. So you can be Mike Tyson. If Ben Askren gets you on the ground, you're gonna have a problem. But it's if Mike lands a punch, yeah. And he's just, I'm a big, huge Mike Tyson fan. He's so powerful.
I got one more question for you. What does karate combat look like in 10 years?
I think it's going to be huge. I truly believe so. I already have a lot of people coming to me who are kickboxing champions and they want to go into karate combat. And I told them, I said, you have a black belt in karate? No. I said, well, then you're going to have to wait. But I truly believe that, and I think there's talk about that in 2023 or 24, they're going to open the gates for everybody. So what they're doing right now, and it's very smart, is giving all these karatecas who used to fight point karate, they give them the chance to build themselves up. And once the level is there, boom. Then we start coming. And you see already the fights, Hoja and Joshua Quayhagen. Quayhagen is a really good mixed martial artist, Those are great fights. So I think the level's getting really close to all the strikers outside. And you see it. I'm Raymond Daniels, Varga. These are elite strikers, And of course, Agaev, but he never fought real full contact, only 3 times here in the pit. But still, he's also growing in it. He gets better every single time. So, yeah, once the gates open for everybody, I think it's going to be very interesting.
Bas, thank you so much for taking out the time.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for being such an outstanding member of the martial arts community.
I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.